Folks, in this video today, we're going to be going over day number 2 of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers rookie minicamp for the 2023 offseason. In the last video, we had a lot of different guys to talk about in terms of undrafted free agents, draft picks that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers made, and other guys in between. And there are a few more other guys that we get to talk about in this video today. Let's go ahead and get started with it, talking about former Shepherd running back Ronnie Brown, who obviously has no relation to the former Dolphins running back, but is still a running back that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers brought in. And in this practice, at least according to Scott Reynolds of PewterReport.com, he was able to showcase some very good receiving ability and showed very good explosiveness in terms of hitting holes and making overall cuts. And this is something that shouldn't be too surprising. Ronnie Brown had an insane senior year of college football. He had 219 rushing attempts, 1,863 rushing yards, and 19 rushing touchdowns. That's just his rushing stats. Whenever you look at his receiving stats, he had 56 receptions, 589 receiving yards, and 5 receiving touchdowns. He also showcased great ability in 2021 as well. He had 956 rushing yards, 8 rushing touchdowns, 549 receiving yards, and 6 receiving touchdowns. So overall, this guy is a pretty good, well-rounded, balanced running back, and he's been showing that a little bit here in the rookie minicamp. You see the receiving ability, you see the explosiveness that got him those absolute video game-esque numbers in his final year at Shepherd, and he may be a guy that can compete for a practice squad spot, possibly even a bottom of the roster spot as well, if he is able to showcase his ability at 6 foot, 190 pounds, both as a running back and possibly even a special teamer as well. The next offensive guy I want to talk about is a guy that we've mentioned a lot here on the channel. It is former Oklahoma offensive lineman Chris Murray, who, again, has fantastic size, 6'1", 294 pounds. He is a guy that I was excited about throughout the entirety of the pre-draft process. He had a top 30 visit with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He ended up going undrafted. The Buccaneers scooped him up right away, and here is what Harold Goodwin had to say. I like him, and he's enthusiastic. He's an eager beaver as well. He's just got to settle down and make all the calls. Today, he was swimming a bit, but it wasn't too bad because we don't have that much stuff in. Going to be fine in the long run. And this is a guy that I think can certainly be a person who can compete for a backup center or a backup guard spot because he's got that versatility, because he does have that overall skill and ability. I think it's a good spot for Chris Murray. Right now as it stands, especially at backup center, it seems like, at least according to Harold Goodwin there, it does seem like he is working as a center. You don't have Robert Hainsey there anymore. He's probably going to be competing for one of those starting guard spots, I should say. So you have, I don't want to say a void, but certainly a need there at that backup center spot. Chris Murray's a guy that I think could fill in. You do have some other guys there like John Molchon who could compete for that spot as well. And I think it's going to be a fun competition. I think you've got a lot of young guys there with a lot of potential, and it seems like Chris Murray, he's garnered a little bit of praise here with the Buccaneers coaching staff. We will see if he will be able to continue that momentum that he has built for himself here in day 2 of the rookie minicamp. Moving on to the defensive side of things, I want to talk about a guy that we actually interviewed here on the channel not too long ago. It is cornerback Don Gardner, undrafted in 2022. He's been making some plays. He had an interception in day 1 of the rookie minicamp, and he had an almost near interception in day 2 as well. He was on the Buccaneers practice squad throughout the entirety of last year, and I know that a lot of people have questioned the overall depth that the Buccaneers have at the cornerback position. You did add Josh Hayes, and he's going to be playing a little bit of safety, probably a little bit of cornerback in there as well, but certainly cannot count out a guy like Don Gardner. He impressed last year. He's impressing so far this year. He can be a guy that legitimately could be your 4th or 5th cornerback if everything does fall into place, and it's going to be worth paying attention to. And it's an exciting thing to see. As I said, we interviewed Don Gardner here on the channel. I think he showed a lot of great character and was just a really fun guy to interview, and His play is matching up to his character as well. Seems like a total package kind of guy, and I think that he's going to be a very interesting player to follow in his second year throughout this offseason process. The last guy I want to talk about here is former Rutgers safety Christian Eisen, who is getting comparisons to Antoine Winfield Jr. by Todd Bowles. We talked about that in yesterday's video, but one thing that was really interesting here, this is per Scott Reynolds again, is that apparently Christian Eisen may get a crack at that starting slot corner position. He's played a little bit of safety, played a little bit of slot corner. He's been doing that in minicamp, and it certainly seems like it's going to be him and Josh Hayes battling for that position. Now, they may work Antoine Winfield Jr. into that mix more. They may work some other guys into that position more. We will have to wait and see, but we know the Buccaneers love their versatility with defensive backs. If you can play safety and slot corner, you're in a very, very good spot there with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and the coaching staff really likes what you are bringing to the table. And I think that we will see that here with Christian Eisen and with, obviously, Josh Hayes as well. And it's going to be a very interesting competition to follow there. How are those guys going to do? What's that battle going to look like? Who is going to ultimately prevail? Those are all questions that are going to be asked, and ultimately it's going to be a very, very fun battle, I think, to pay attention to. But folks, with that being said, that's it for day number 2 of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers rookie minicamp. I have a few more videos that are going to be coming out here with regards to some of the players who were at that minicamp and why I feel like they are intriguing names to pay attention to, as well as just some other breakout type candidates, top undrafted free agents to pay attention to, and some other things along those lines. But I want to know your thoughts. What do you guys think about this rookie minicamp? What were your thoughts and opinions and takeaways from some of the players who looked good and some of the players who you didn't hear that much about? Would love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hope y'all enjoyed. And as always, folks, I'll see you all in the next video or the next live stream. But until then, and as always, guys, goodbye for now, and go Bucs.